It's something I know the fans of Jacksonville didn't want, a 3-13 season, but look at it this way, you're getting the 4th pick in the NFL draft. The Florida football team and Ben Hill Griffin Stadium have provided weekly thrills to many over the years, but it's been one team in Gainesville that has provided the most memorable of memories this season. How sweet do these words sound? This is the last weekend without football until January. Florida's first home game Saturday is going to look a lot like this. A little boggy, but I can guarantee you from rows 1 all the way to 90 are going to be filled in bumping on Saturday. 2 weeks ago, new Baylor head coach Jim Nantz stated, "We don't have a culture of bad behavior at Baylor University." Today, that's in question again. Today, the Jaguars announced that Tom Coughlin will return, except with a new title, President of Football Operations. Since he won't be missing any Sundays in the coming months, or at least the Cowboys hope not, Tony Romo got the day off Thursday. Dak Prescott in his place taking first-team reps. The Cowboys still looking for a backup quarterback. Every Florida home game was sold out last year, but the demand's actually going to go up, thanks to a product that's being sold in the stands. Seems odd for odds to be so high on a team that only won 4 games last season. There's no denying Alabama's the #1 team in the nation, but there's only one coach who's made it to the Georgia Dome and the SEC Championship in his first 2 years. That's Jim McElwain, and if there's anyone who knows a thing or two about dealing with Alabama, it's someone who's coached with Nick Saban. The future of this program may be unknown, but for the guys who are leaving, the ones who are here, and the ones who will be, I'll say it's in great hands under head coach Jim McElwain. In Gainesville, Ben Murphy, First Coast Sports.
For another one here with a runner on first. That one is going to be called strike 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out now for Trinity Harrington, the Texas A&M Aggie pitcher. She looked pretty good early on in the first 3 innings yesterday for the Aggies, not allowing really much action on the base paths for Florida, but then things kind of fell apart there in the 4th inning for her, and the Gators really got things going there. 3 runs in the 4th for Florida yesterday, and that got them to a 4-0 lead. Followed that with a 2-run 6th, then it was pretty much over from there. We've got a 0-0 ball game here in the top of the first between the Florida Gators and the Texas A&M Aggies. 1 runner on for Florida at first. That's Amanda Lorenz, and at the plate is Kaylee Covestad from Lake City, Florida, sophomore. Batting .409 on the season with runners on. She's batting .380. The delivery from Harrington is low and outside, and Covestad will walk for the 2nd time in this series. There it is, Kelsey, another walk for the Texas A&M Aggies, something they've struggled with all weekend. And right there gets a runner in scoring position for the Gators with Merritt, who had two RBI yesterday and is really feeling it with the bat.
Yeah, just a dangerous place to put yourself in, hitting the middle of this Gator lineup, giving extra runs. I mean, Kaylee Covestad 0 for 5 so far on the weekend, hasn't shown to be a threat, but if you look at any scouting report anywhere, that's a hitter that you're going to want to stay away from.
Stayed away from her there, and 2 on for Merritt. Lorenz over there on second. Covestad on first. 1 out in the top of the first. Florida versus Texas A&M here on the Gator IMG Sports Network. Ben Murphy alongside Kelsey Horton. Game 3 of this 3-game set. Florida took games 1 and 2, and Merritt's going to foul that one back off our way into the netting. 1 ball, 1 strike on Merritt. Merritt this weekend 3 for 8, 3 RBI. He's only struck out once so far, so a pretty big series for her. Looking to continue it here with runners in scoring position. She's batting .476 on the year in this spot. He's going to take that one low for a called ball 2. So Merritt ahead in this count.
Harrington's got that nice drop ball she throws to both sides of the plate. She can get that one in there for a strike, but that one falling off the table, having some good movement, just dropped a little too much out of the zone, but I like that pitch for Harrington.
This one's going to be chopped to the shortstop. She goes over to third to Sarton and get the lead runner. 2 down now for the Texas A&M Aggies, but still ducks on the pond for Florida. A runner on second and a runner on first. It's going to be Covestad over there on second. Merritt reaches on a fielder's choice.
Florida second baseman
for the 2nd time this inning, Texas A&M elects to get the lead runner and keep a Gator off of third base. Nicole DeWitt will step in. She hit a monster shot off the scoreboard yesterday. She's 3 for 6 this weekend. One ball, no strikes on the inside half. Not going to get the called strike there. That will be ball number 2 for DeWitt. With 2 outs, DeWitt this year batting .405. So she's got ice in her veins when it comes to Florida having their last out. This time, 2 balls, no strikes. That one on the outside half will be a called ball 3, and I believe the take sign is going to be on for DeWitt. Texas A&M in danger of loading the bases here in the top of the first. Trinity Harrington winds, delivers outside half. Oh, gets the called strike. Just catches the outside half of the plate. Good pitch there. 3 balls, 1 strike now on DeWitt. Wind's been a factor all weekend. The wind is blowing from left field to right field. We've seen it being blown out all year, and that one from DeWitt is going to be chopped. Foul. I believe they're going to call it foul. Might have gone off her foot, actually. She kind of limped off there, yeah. So that one's going to be called foul. Texas A&M and their fans thought it was in fair territory, and it would have ended the inning. A grounder to Tori Vidal as she stepped on first, but just another strike off the foot. Full count here for Nicole DeWitt. Inside half, and that one's going to get a piece of her. So would have been a ball anyways, but it'll catch a piece of DeWitt, and she'll take first base either way. Bases loaded now for Florida, and it will be number 25, Janelle Wheaton.
Florida first baseman, number 25,
third hit by
Janelle
pitch
Wheaton.
for Nicole DeWitt on the weekend, 1 each day actually. So good job battling late in the count. Stinks when you're ready to hit. She looked like pretty focused in there, ready, waiting for that one to hit, and gets hit instead.
Wheaton batting .429 with the bases loaded. 2 outs, just over 300 at .308. This weekend she's 1 for 3. Only had 2 at bats yesterday, reached on a walk. And one of those, the 0-1 pitch here, low and away, called ball 1. 2 outs for the Florida Gators here in the top of the first against the Texas A&M Aggies on the road, but the bases are loaded with 2 away. Janelle Wheaton is up. She had a monster line drive Friday night that scored 2. This time she's swinging on the 1-1 count, and that one on the inside half gets her ahead of it. She misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Wheaton, and Texas A&M is a strike away from getting out of this jam. Trinity Harrington in the circle. Janelle Wheaton at the plate. Base is loaded. The 1-2 pitch on the way. That'll sit her down. Looking a good pitch there by Trinity Harrington. Gets Texas A&M out of the bases loaded jam. We come back. The Aggies will be up. Florida not able to cross anything there. 0-0 after the top of the first. You're listening to the Gator IMG Sports Network.
You never expect it's going to be your child.
A total shock is the best way I can describe it.
I wish I wasn't sick. Because I don't want to be sick.
The neuroblastoma cells had spread throughout his whole body.
Micah has been through some of the most intense therapy that a person, a grown-up or a child, can go through, for sure.
7 years old and cancer, 2 things that should never go together. But for Micah Ahern, the fight has been his childhood.
Micah doing okay? Yep, he's doing great.
Remember Michael, Landestoy, Connor?
2.5 years ago, TCU baseball made Micah a part of their team, signing him to a letter of intent, the youngest to do so in school history.
As a father, I get to see him do that and be a part of it, and it makes a father so happy. I can't even express the joy being able to just be out there with him and see him live this kind of dream of his.
You know, but we didn't get into this relationship for us. We got into this relationship for him, and so that's what we try to do every day.
While that may be true, it is the TCU baseball team, much like the rest of us, who should be learning from Micah.
Micah.
Superhero Micah.
They use Micah's situation to keep things in perspective.
When I roll it to you, you're going to feel it like this.
There's no I in team, but Micah is an individual who has made the TCU baseball team who they are.
Never ever give up.
those words, "Don't give up," is Micah's story.
TCU with a comeback win.
Playing for Micah and, with this group of guys, there's nothing that's impossible.
You had a bad game, you went 0-4, you didn't pitch what you wanted. I mean, imagine that going on in your life.
He brings perspective, and when you have perspective as an athlete, it allows you to play more free.
That perspective drove TCU and Micah all the way to the College World Series semifinal.
TCU wins it 6-1. And now are 2-0 at the College World Series.
The wins and College World Series berths produced here at Lupton Stadium are great, but the TCU baseball team knows that the headlines are nothing compared to the bonds Micah helped create.
He's truly a teammate.
He's our teammate.
He means so much to this team.
He believes he's a member of the team.
And for a couple of days, Micah got to live his dream in Omaha.
And see him and hang out with us, and it made that Omaha trip that much better.
I'd never seen him have that kind of energy, that kind of happiness. We got him field passes out on the field, and you would have thought the guy was walking down the red carpet at the Emmys.
And Coastal's going to the championship series.
Micah was not there to see TCU fall just short of a championship, but upon returning from Omaha, it was TCU that was there to see Micah.
At the end of the day, yeah, we were crushed to lose in the College World Series, but seriously, how relative to what Micah and what he's going through, how big a deal really is it?
Science suggests that Micah has a 10% chance of survival.
Please help Micah feel better. Amen.
But I still pray for him every day, that God would heal him here, and that God wouldn't take him home yet, but he would let him stay here.
Micah is on hospice, and his time may only be judged by a matter of weeks, but the weeks that he has been here have been more impactful than most of us can hope for our own lives.
Your child has left a mark on others. I think we would want that for all of our children, to change the world for something better. And I think Micah has done that in his short 7.5 years. Micah has changed the team, and that's never going to change.
Well, he's just part of us. He has a locker in here, like everybody else. That will never change.
Ben Murphy, Channel 8 Sports.